On today's video, we're going to talk about, do YouTube ads actually work? For most people, they don't work. We're talking about 90% plus people who try YouTube ads. I know because I audited lots and lots of ad accounts and see where people try YouTube ads and the percentage of them that are still going and that are not in the pause status are over 90%. We're probably talking 95% plus because they don't have the key facts necessary to know how to run them correctly. Specifically, these 4 things I'm going to cover here, which are the most important things, and you'll be ahead of 95% of people once these things because they basically don't know them. Google search ads is what everybody likes to do because it's easy. You don't have to be very smart to do them. It's still difficult, but you don't have to be smart. You understand that somebody wants what you have there, so you just got to put it in front of them and not be too damn confusing, and they'll buy from you. Whereas with YouTube ads, they're now looking for what you have, and you have to be clever to convince somebody to buy. It's like the difference between waiting for a girl to come up to you and asking them out for dinner, whatever, versus having a cold approach a girl that doesn't know who you are, and you got to build trust with them right away. That's like literally what the difference in skill level it takes in order to pull off a sale in YouTube versus on Google search. You probably recognize this. However, there's a process to it in order to get it to work. How you could take somebody with no recollection of who you are whatsoever, which you don't have to necessarily do that because you can run remarketing video ads as well. And then quickly build up enough trust to at least get them to stop watching the video they were watching and to veer off into your world. So I'm going to explain what that is with these 4 things here. For the most part, though, most people just throw their money into a big burn pile when they try to run YouTube ads because they don't know this stuff and it's never going to work because they don't know these things. So before I go into the content here though, if you do not know who I am Corey. I'm an owner of Guarantee PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, we do not charge our clients management fees until we get them a certain minimum lift in the profitability up front, basically in excess of the management fee that we charge. And so therefore we pay ourselves out of the profit. So with that said, that should tell you something about the quality of the information you're receiving on this video and overall channel in general. So with that said, the first thing on the list here that people don't know that can't get their ads to work is they have no idea whatsoever on how to write a good ad script. The ad script, I've ranked these from most important to least important. Overall on YouTube, it's the ad that people don't know how to do, and it's the bigger factor than the targeting. You can have a fantastic ad targeting, and you're still going to make money. If you have in the best targeting in the world, you're not going to make money. The targeting is important, but it's like 30% of the equation. So with that said, what makes a good ad? Well, that generally all starts from a script, a video script. It's not like your typical banner ad or Google search ad where you could just put on there what it is for the most part. But even then, it's still got some elements of you have to know what to say, right? On a video ad, you can't just be like, here's a toaster for sale, buy it. Because it's not engaging enough for the user. You got to have a little bit of a storyline of some sort. And generally speaking anymore, in terms of ads that work the best for us, it's going to be what looks like a product review or a review of the service itself by a past customer, because that's the type of stuff that people came to YouTube for in the first place to watch. And the more people who watch the video and the less people that skip the video, the more profitable you're going to be, which I'm going to talk about that a bit more in a moment itself. Or if you have a really interesting, a very interesting product, you demonstrate how well it works in terms of its results, how durable it is, how much better that it does than the competitor's product, or whatever, or so on and so forth. But even then, if you just showed your product and how much better than your competitor's product, you still have to have the flow of that video right. You can't put it in a jumbled order. I equate this to similar like landing pages. On a landing page, you cannot just put the content that the user wants in any random order, because it's going to be disjointed and you're not going to get the landing page to convert at a high enough rate to make money. There's certain things that people need to see first, and then second, and then third, and it's a delicate process. Video ads even more so. So you got to be able to write, and so people just go, hey, video guy, make me a sales video for my YouTube ads. And that video guy doesn't know how to do sales copywriting for video ads and know that they're supposed to start with a video script first Then comes the video production and all of that. So the video script has more impact on basically anything. What's specifically said in the video itself. Generally speaking, you're going to have a voiceover laid over on top of visuals. Or in the case, like I mentioned, where the customer is reviewing a product or service, person, their talking head style video, we get the general idea. Other videos that work great nowadays, by the way, is when you can pay either a local or national TV station to review your product and have that as your ad. And that's the best of the best ads that we found work because it gets people to trust what you're saying right off the bat. And you can get that done on a local TV station for a few $1,000, for a national even, it's only like 10 grand for a 1 to 2 minute spot where they're introducing your product on television. Even Fox News, even these big TV stations, believe it or not. And then, which you may say, oh, I can't afford that. Well, ultimately, if the ad works, you're going to make millions of dollars off of it. Just one good ad over the next 10 years. So you have to put it into perspective. And then what people want to do is they want to invest all their money in their ad spend, almost nothing in their video ad production. And then the video ad campaign they piss all their money away and it's not going to work. The video ad has to be thought of first. You got to put together real effort into that video ad to get it to work. Because if you do, it will make you a ton of money. We've made so much money on video ads that are for clients. But if you don't do it right, you're wasting your time. And it's not going to be random, like hire some random video guy to make you an ad and it's going to work. It's not good enough. You need to know somebody who knows how to make actual video ads that convert. It's just like landing pages. You can't have a web designer make you a landing page and be like, and have that at work. You need somebody who knows how to make landing pages and or websites that convert in order to get conversions. Generally speaking, the script is the most important and the best script is going to get down to the point right away. Do you have foot fungus? Well, this is the best foot fungus product on the market right now because there was a new discovery that this particular leaf from the Amazon rainforest gets rid of foot fungus every time. And here's specifically why. That's how you want to start out a YouTube ad. That the most common script that we have on a video ad that will actually convert is starting out with that basic flow. Why? Because it gets the user's attention that you want to get attention of right away. You got foot fungus, now I've got your attention. If you don't have foot fungus, then you just click skip and that's what you want the ad to do. You want to state your purpose within the first 5 seconds so they don't click the skip button. And that's typically the best way to do it. You got to get yourself a copywriter who knows how to make good copy script for videos. Then and only then you go to a video guy to help you make the visuals on the video that's going to be overlaid on top of it, or a production company that can help you make the video, which normally I don't hire big production companies to make videos. Even for the e-commerce companies I also own, we're going to have a good video guy. We're going to have the video script, and that video script's given to the video production guy, a freelancer or what have you, or employee. And then they're going to take the script and make the video based upon what the script was laid out for them. That's the proper winning formula that you want to go through. Second thing on the list is no immediate offer. So unless you have a game-changing technology or product that you could demonstrate visually how it works, you're going to need an offer. For that matter, anything boring. If you're selling windows, if you're selling siding for houses, if you're selling socks, anything boring like that, life insurance, you're going to need some reason for them to stop what they're doing to take action. Just saying you also have chimney cleaning services ain't going to get anything done. Yes, 1 in 10,000 people who see it might be in market for chimney cleaning right at that exact time, and they were going to call somebody today and you'll get a lead. What you really though want is somebody who has a chimney who you can convince right then and there to respond, because you're giving them a really, really good reason to respond right away. Like chimney sweeps, 50% off for March. March only, get it while it's hot. Then the person's going to say, okay, well, I was going to get one this spring. I should jump on this right now because they're giving me a really good deal. And then understanding in a business like that, yeah, you may not be making money on that, but you got the customer now. And at least with the customer, you can actually sell them. And understanding you got to be bold in your ad in terms of what you're offering, or nobody's going to give it about your ad and it's not going to work. To give you an example of this, we had a roofing company. We offered an $89 roofing package where you could get a new roof for $89 a month. For somebody who needs a new roof, that's a really good offer because a lot of people can't afford 15 grand for a new roof at the given time. There's other companies that do offer financing, but they're not talking about it in that way, and they certainly aren't putting it up front in the advertising, and there's probably nobody else out there running a video ad on YouTube with that offer on it, at least. So it's something unique enough to get their attention. That campaign did very, very well, by the way. Generating leads for about $50 a pop, which is very profitable in the roofing space. Where we come up with a good story script, we had a mailbox company. We had the mailbox reviewed on national television, on Fox News, and that in and itself was our video ad. So yes, we paid a lot to get it on television, but a big name show on Fox News reviewed the product. People, when they saw the video ad, they were taken back by it right away, and they were willing to watch a little 2-minute skit about this new product for 2024, and it got people's attention, and enough to where they got through the whole video. If it weren't that important, why is it on the news? And then enough to get them a decent amount of people to click through the ad, go to the site, which then we can hit them with more remarketing and so on and so forth. Those are 2 different example campaigns that we ran that actually were effective, so you understand how to do this for yourself. Third thing on the list here to mention of what people don't know why they can't get their ads to work. They go into the YouTube advertising graveyard. They can't make the ad entertaining to generate a high ad rank. I touched on this earlier in the video. People have 5 seconds to click the skip button when your ad pops up. If your ad's so boring like, wow, look at this new grass seed, it works so great. It's monotone and there's not any crazy visuals there. Not very many people are not click the skip button, assuming they're not away from their computer to not click it. And you technically don't pay if somebody clicks the skip button, and that is true. But what Google's algorithm then does, if a bunch of people are clicking skip, is they're going to downgrade your ad. It's not going to get shown as much, and if it really gets clicked a lot, if the skip button really gets clicked a lot, they won't show it at all. You won't get any impressions anymore. You're just dead in the water. So a good ad is very visually, auditorially entertaining. It's informative and entertaining at the same time. Like on this particular, when you make a YouTube channel, like I'm making here, I can't just sit here and be like, what? Video ads work great. And I know that because in 1999, blah, nobody's going to watch it, no matter how good the information itself is. You got to be, that's not good enough anymore. You got to be both valuable in terms of the information you're offering, and you also have to be entertaining at the same time. That's where the real results are. So with that said, for our own firm, what I do, I'm not afraid of saying it, we do video advertising for our own firm, for our PPC agency, or online advertising agency, if you want to call it that. Anybody who watches our channel, we advertise other video content to them so that if they saw one video, we want them to see our other videos. And we know if they watch enough of our videos, eventually one day when they need to hire somebody for their help with their ads, we'll be the first in line. That's our sales process effectively. Why we do this. So with that said, and the more videos they've watched of ours, the more likely they're going to be to hire us if they're going to hire somebody in the future. So with that said, we will actually put our video ads as just other videos that we talking about how to do your PPC. Because the video ads are so entertaining and educational, because that's what gets them to show up organically on YouTube, the video ad gets not clicked. People don't click on the skip button on our ads very often. And so what happened with our video campaign was, at first, like you'll see with your own if you do this right, the cost per view of the video is going to be super high at first. Just like a search campaign, your cost per click is really high at the beginning, and if you do a good job, it comes down. Our cost per view on these videos was 40 cents, right around there. Super expensive. It came down to where we're paying 5 cents a view. Why? Because the algorithm realized, compared to the other videos and other advertisers' videos and other advertisers, our ads are more engaging to their users, therefore bill more because nobody's clicking the skip button. So every time they show our ad, it's going to get viewed. So then with that, they give us a break on the cost per view as a result of that. And they also want to show our ad more. So a really entertaining ad, which is why once in a while you see video ads, you're like, damn, that was a good ad. They're doing it for a reason, because it really, really gets shown to your audience once you actually have an ad that people like watching and thought it was funny, think that is funny or what have you. So the best situation is an entertaining ad that also has the information on it that educates the user on why you could fix their problem and why they should fix the problem with your offer right now. Why me? Why now? Why me? I have foot fungus and this will cure my foot fungus. Why right now? Because you're offering a 50% off for March only offer and therefore I should click on it right now. So that's always what you're trying to ask yourself is why should the user actually watch this? Why now? And then would a random person that maybe even they have foot fungus but they're not willing to buy any products right now, would they be willing to watch the ad because it was entertaining, it was interesting, they were doing something funny on there? So that's a part of ad rank. Your ad rank is going to be based upon how many people want to watch the ad versus not watch it. And the best way to get someone to watch it is to make the ad not look like an ad. You do one of those news style ads like I mentioned. You have an ad that looks like a customer review. You do an ad that is basically just informational content by itself. And you take the long approach like I mentioned we're doing at our agency, just showing them other educational content about how to buy from your market. And then eventually you can have we still have ads that pitch our services outright at our firm, but we don't have that right away. We'll let them see 5, 10 different videos that pop up as ads that just educate them. And then the ad shows up later. And because they saw the 5 or 10 of the videos, that ad that pitches them on our services directly actually is effective. So, and then that's the third thing. Now, the fourth thing on the list to mention here that people do not know, which stops them from making their ads work, is for niche businesses, they don't know how to target their ads. And like I mentioned earlier, the targeting is like 30% of the equation. The hard thing that people don't know how to do because they don't have any experience with it, and being a good video copywriter is hard. It takes a lot of experience, you got to be creative, talented, all that. The video ad is going to be the main thing that decides if you're going to sink or swim for most people. But you also still have to have decent ability to target your ads if you're selling something niche. Okay? So if you're selling toolboxes, Christmas decorations, a back surgery product, these are niche things that less than 1% of the population want to buy, practically speaking, at any given time. With that said, you have to narrow your targeting and can't just blast out there to everybody. What you do is you target people who are watching your competitors' videos for their product or services on their channel, or people who have went to your competitor's website, because you can do both with YouTube ads. Or you're going to target in-market audiences. Google Ads will let you, there's pre-populated audiences in there. So if you sell a Christmas decoration item, there's an audience for people in market for Christmas decorations. And therefore you can target those exact people. Or if Google doesn't have an in-market audience for you, you create your own. You create one through something called a custom intent audience, where you type in all these keywords that are buying terms and when you create your audience. And what that does is allows you, if somebody in the recent past on Google's been searching for a product that you sell or like what you sell, you can have an audience from that and then have your video ad show up for a person like that. Or you target people looking for watching research videos. So if I'm selling Christmas decorations again, I could target people watching videos about how to decorate their house. Or if we're talking about selling Christmas lights, watching videos about how to buy, what are the best Christmas lights to buy, and so on and so forth, which would be the best quote unquote research video you would have there to advertise on. The second best would be like how to hang Christmas lights. The third best would be how to make your home look better with Christmas decorations. And then as you get further and further away from what the video topic matches your product is, then the less the ROI you're going to get from your campaign. Sometimes you're going to have to only target people looking for buyer's guide information about your product or service, and that's it. Sometimes you can just target people who are looking for general solutions, such as if I'm trying to lose weight, you target anybody that wants to lose weight, not somebody looking for gastric bypass surgery when you have a gastric bypass surgery offer. The great thing about YouTube ads is you could track everything. You can literally track if somebody sees a video ad and then converts on your site. They don't even have to click through your video ad right away, which many people don't. As long as they come back to your site and convert within 3 days, it counts as a conversion. That worked, practically speaking. Or if they click through, you can track it up to 30 days, whether somebody comes back and converts, or even 90 days. So just know with this, by the way, the more active research that's being done, the higher it converts. And somebody actively researching something on YouTube about your topic, of your product or service topic, the more they're going to convert, and they're going to convert 10 times the rate as somebody who was recently doing research on your topic, but they're now watching cat videos or whatever. So if you're selling a toolbox, you want to watch people watch video, have your ad show up on top of or at the start of videos about buying toolboxes, not somebody who recently searched for toolboxes on Google but aren't actively on YouTube searching for toolbox related content right now. Because people actively looking for toolbox related content on YouTube is those video ad placements you get on those videos are going to convert 10 times better than somebody who was recently in market for toolbox products or information, but on to watching something else, because you're interrupting them with an ad, and a lot of people aren't just going to be interested to start researching toolbox crap again. That's the other thing that people don't know. They don't realize how targeted, in other words, YouTube ads can truly get, because they can get super hyper relevant targeted to the point where in some cases we'll just go ahead and make a list of all the videos of all our competitors' product reviews and only advertise on those, both on the competitors' YouTube channels, but also if third parties reviewed their products, we'll advertise on those videos directly by itself. And that's almost going to work. That's going to work 99% of the time, because somebody watching a direct competitor's review, it doesn't get any more relevant than that. And they're going to probably buy something from your market. There's at least a 50% chance they're going to buy. It's just a matter of who. And then at that point, if you're smart, like I talk about on my other videos about how to do video ads, you can literally show up on your competitor A's review on YouTube, and you could say, if you're considering buying product A, you need to see this information about product B first. Product B is actually better for the same price, blah, blah, blah. Click through here and you'll see why. And you can actually talk to them on their individual level, and it works like gangbusters. Yes, it takes some work. That's always going to work. And then the question is, okay, if that works, what else will work? Well, targeting people watching competitor reviews that aren't really direct competitors who are products, but indirect competitors. Well, okay, that works. Well, can I and you just keep going down the list of what's most likely to convert to what's least likely to convert until you run out of runway. You can't get new audiences to convert anymore. So, and with that said, I've got easily a dozen plus videos about how to do video ad campaigns on YouTube and get them to work. And where I go through in detail on these individual points, you should therefore check them out. You can find them on my channel homepage, searching for anything related to YouTube ads. And also you should subscribe to this channel, because I talk about all the time about not only just how to get video ads to work, but the tracking that you need to go with it, offer creation, all that other stuff, as well as how to make other ad networks work for you. Facebook, LinkedIn ads, anything else that you'd like to do and should be looking into, so you have a nice redundant system for running advertising for your business. So if you haven't subscribed already, you should. And you should check out my blog on my site while you're at it as well. You can find my blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has all the strategies that I'm using to guarantee results for our clients at our firm, with the screenshots, with all the instructions in order to use them. With that said, I gave some examples about targeting here. Those were real examples of campaigns that we ran that were doing very well, and we're making tens of thousands of dollars a month running just YouTube ads by itself for these companies. The Toolbox company, we ran ads on anybody who was watching any videos about any competitor toolboxes. We just absolutely slammed them. And because it works so damn well, okay? The video itself would show up and just explain why the product was better than the review that they were looking for, and it just worked like gangbusters, like I was explaining just a little bit ago. I don't care what you're doing or how you're doing it. If you have competitors, you need to be doing this kind of video advertising, because the advertising placements don't get any better than that. If you had your competitor's business right next door to yours, and you had an ability to stop the person outside on the street before they walked in, to have a conversation with them. You damn well know you would do it. So why don't you advertise on your competitors' review videos on YouTube when you can have a personalized conversation with them through that video that seems personalized? Because you're going to be able to get at least 10% of those people that buy from you if you've got a better product and you can explain it. These other concepts I'm talking about. We did the Christmas decorations as well. We had a particular high-end Christmas decoration. We were marketing it to people, in addition to remarketing it to people who had our site already, people that were in market for Christmas decorations. So they're actively online buying Christmas decorations at that given moment, and that worked extremely well itself. So, which in-market audiences in general work really well. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like with the Toolbox company, just targeting somebody in market for a toolbox, it wasn't really that effective, but when they were actively looking at content about toolboxes, it was highly effective. So sometimes you'll get by with that, sometimes you won't. I will tell you from experience that the quality, the offer at hand is really going to dictate whether marketing to somebody who's been recently interested in your product or can make that work, whether it will only work if they're actively watching videos about that topic. This product was really cool. So even though they weren't actively looking for Christmas decorations right then and there, it would still convert. Whereas the Toolbox company, yeah, the Toolbox video that we made was really good, but it wasn't so out crazy good that somebody who was watching a video about fantasy football was going to see it and just click through and buy right away. It wasn't quite that good. And that has to do not just with the video. That didn't have anything to do with the video quality. It made the best video we could. It was just the nature of the offer. It wasn't, the offer itself wasn't good enough. Now, if we were able to say, got even more creative and say, hey, this month, we're going to let you, there's going to be a drawing and you're going to get a free toolbox. 1 in every 10 people who come to the site and fill out our questionnaire are going to get a free toolbox. Maybe we could have gotten that to work even though they weren't actively looking for toolbox information. So sometimes you need to get more creative, but I didn't have that flexibility with this client, so I didn't do anything like that. And then the back surgery one. So in some occasions, like with our back surgery, so we had a client who does, you could call it back surgery. It wasn't really exactly that. It was a procedure. And we targeted people who are interested in how to fix their back pain. Also people considering back surgery. Tips, advise what to do before back surgery. Does back surgery work? All that itself. So in that case, we could actually get people looking for information about back pain in general, not this particular procedure that we were actually marketing. So in some markets, if we were to switch this back to the Toolbox company, in some markets, you could market to someone who's trying to just beautify their garage and make it work. In other markets, you're going to have to market to people at least interested in a toolbox already. And in other markets, you're going to have to market to people who are actively right now researching toolboxes in order to get it to convert and give you a positive ROI. This varies by market. In the back pain space, it's a big enough issue that people, anything to do with how to fix back pain, for somebody who has back pain, they're going to be interested in it right away if you do a good ad because people are desperate. I would include anybody in terms of relationships, making money, all that. You could just, if they're not interested in that information regarding that right then and there, they'll be responsive to it because it's something that has a really big impact on their life. If you're not sure what to do, you can always leave me a comment below. I get back to every person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours. You can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com and we can have a potential conversation talking about whether or not we could put the actual video ad together for you. I'm going to tell you in advance, you're better off, generally speaking, if nothing about video ads, to just hire us to help you make the video ad, or at least the script. We do more scripts than whole videos, and with the script, you at least can go to a video guide and have a decent chance of it working versus not having that, and then your chances are less than 10% getting it to work on your first try, which I don't want to be discouraging to anybody, but it's just like anything else. You've got to try it a few times to know what the hell you're doing. And something like a video ad that can make as much as it's going to make, it's not going to be, you walk up and boom, you're done. Anything valuable is going to be a little bit tricky to figure out. And you can get around that just by asking me what to do in terms of the script. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. We also have video scripts that you can use if we've already sold what you're already selling. We can give you that, sell you that. We also have ad templates that work on Google, Facebook, so on and so forth. So if we're in your market or have been in your market before, we can sell you the ad templates, the landing page templates, the campaign templates, and you copy paste that into your ad accounts and get the same results we were getting before, which is a really good way, if you like managing your own ads still, to get results that you're looking for quickly and easily, taking what we learned over years and just getting that right away with your campaign. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. At the very least, I want to say that if you're dead set on getting YouTube ads to work, it will work. You just have to go through the learning curve of getting it to work. Maybe you're lucky enough that you could find some of your competitors' ads and just copy them. That would be something I would want to also try at first. But if you have to come up with your own thing, then it's certainly going to help at least having a conversation with somebody who's made profitable video ads before and can do it not just like, oh, I got lucky, but they can do it time and time and time again. 30-minute coaching session with myself would be wildly helpful if you're trying to get into doing this and you're dead set on getting it to work, because I can tell you whether or not, before you even make the video ad, whether what you plan on doing is going to be likely to work. I see people at our firm all the time. They come back to me and they say, oh, I have a video ad for YouTube, thinking that I know how to run it in terms of the targeting. I can get it to work. And I look at it and it's just horrible. And I just tell them, like, this is not going to work. Like, you wasted your money. Sorry. This is not going to work. I can just tell something, whether it's going to be engaging for the user or not, just by looking at it, because I've ran so many now. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me. Or if you're just stuck at where you're at in terms of revenue, I can, in a 30-minute coaching session, tell you how to get unstuck. And that may be from the website, your ads, whatever it is. I'll help you identify what it is, because I've been really good at doing that. And sometimes it is your ad, sometimes it's not. I like to do these calls for no other reason that a lot of you guys think your ads are the problem and really it's something else. It's your pricing strategy, it's something else. And I can help you identify very easily on those calls after a few questions and looking over your stuff what the likely bottleneck is. And I do that usually 90% of the time accurately. So anyway, if you're interested in that as well, been starting to do that, you can reach out to me at my firm for that. I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said YouTube ads was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it